Welcome back to American Latino TV. Influential cartoonist Jaime Hernandez is best known for his cult classic comic book series, Love and Rockets. His stories have been widely praised by both comic and literary critics alike. And part of Jaime's legacy is the realism he portrays through the eyes of Latino characters, which were uncommon in comic books when he first broke into the industry. But Jaime helped to change all that, and as he proves with his latest projects, there's still more to come from the inkwell. Brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. 3 decades ago, Jaime Hernandez introduced the comic book world to Maggie and Hopi, the Chicana characters that starred in the award-winning, critically acclaimed series Love and Rockets. Comic books would never be the same again.
In the comics world, there was no what they call alternative scene, comics that weren't superheroes. There wasn't a lot of comics out like that. We were kind of, I'm not going to say original, but it was kind of new. You know, our comic was kind of a rarity. I was just happy that I was able to have a comic book. You know, it wasn't like I was trying to change the world or anything, you know. By the time I started growing up, comics were already there, and they were encouraged by our mom to read comics because she read comics as a little girl. She said, you know, I'm never going to throw away my kids' comics like my mom did me. So she actually encouraged them. It wasn't until I got into high school that I started to notice that, hey, my neighborhood's pretty cool, you know. I mean, there's good stories here, you know, and I wasn't seeing any of that on TV or comics or anything like that. We wanted to tell our version, and we just had no clue of how the market worked or anything like that. And so we were kind of like alone out there, you know. We felt alone. And luckily, our publisher, Fantagraphics, saw a copy and picked it up. It was almost overnight where all of a sudden we had a real comic out there. And so my brother and I said, uh-oh, well, maybe we should take this serious now. I mean, this is a real thing. We decided to go for it. My main character, Maggie, she's a Latina who was a teenage punk rocker. She was a rocket mechanic in the early days. Now she's got her own fix-it garage. You know, she's running a business. Whether it's successful or not, that's another question. But you know, that's just her life. She started out 17. Now she's in her late 40s. So it's really interesting to follow her because we're growing old together. What's next for me? The next issue. That's the way I look at it. You know, Love and Rockets is still my baby, and that's the thing that's always going to be there. When I'm done with one, on to the next one. I'm going to do it as long as I can, and hopefully I'll be wise enough to know when it starts to suck. You know?